At the flyer hideout, we spotted two suspects. As they prepared to flee, the black taxi and the officer were waiting like superheroes at the entrance. One young man quickly pulled out a gun, warning them not to interfere, like he stepped out of an action movie. At the gunshot, the self-styled major with a trendy mustache appeared nearby, as if part of the show. Then, a wave of police rushed in like a tidal wave, catching the two drug dealers red-handed. The dangerous guys he warned Poirot about were just these crooks. And he's been using binoculars to spy on the seaside, like he's watching a real trading floor. The red flag on the small boat is a clear danger sign, while the white boats mean it's safe to go. Although Poirot's plan worked, these drug dealers had nothing to do with the death of Arlena. So the question is, why did he enter the cave alone? Was it just a coincidence, or was he starring in an action-packed Hastings, who had been trailing closely behind, abruptly broke his silence to voice his thoughts, upon hearing which Poirot nodded his head enthusiastically in agreement. He admitted he underestimated this killer, almost falling into his trap, but this sly villain had no idea he was in deep waters with a tougher push. Oh, Alan, this guy just loves trouble. Now it's showtime for these two. The truth is about to come out. Just as Poirot was ready to reveal the truth, he did something mysterious. He summoned his butler to the island. This wasn't for some 5-star service. He needed help investigating two super important issues. First, it was about that mysterious and dangerous threat call. Sarah mentioned someone was blackmailing Alan for money. Poirot sensed that money was at the root of this, so he sent Miss Lemon straight to the bank. Turns out, the bank manager revealed that Alan wasn't bankrupt. You heard that right. Just a week before coming to the island, Alan withdrew all his savings, claiming he needed to invest in a man. Seriously, it sounds like a soap opera. And the second question was scarier. Poirot had Miss Lemon delve into the mini-murder, echoing the old case the priest mentioned. How could that possibly be a coincidence? The investigation confirmed Poirot's suspicions, of course. The informant, a female PE teacher, claimed immediate police notification, and the victim's fiancé had a rock-solid alibi. Are you starting to feel like this plot sounds a bit familiar? You guessed it, this Allen case mirrors the previous case like a DJ currency sans vu. Poirot was connecting all the dots in his mind. It was time for him to launch his final deduction. That evening, he gathered everyone in the hotel dining, looking at the diverse faces before him. This Belgian detective thought the truth is about to be revealed. But Poirot didn't spill the beans right away. Instead, he treated them to a lesson in motive analysis, stating that each person present had a solid reason to want Alan dead. This statement made the atmosphere in the dining room tense enough to cut meat. Poirot started analyzing them one by one, beginning with the high and mighty husband. His wife's betrayal was his absolute reason for murder. This time, Jack's wife Sarah gnashed her teeth in rage. Every time she saw Alan flirting with her husband, her eyes looked like they could skewer him alive. Even the seemingly harmless little lady of the evening was. Poirot even discovered that this kid had bought books on poison at the bookstore to talk about jaw-dropping. But just when everyone thought Poirot was going to accuse one by one, he suddenly pointed the finger at Jack, saying, I knew exactly what you were. My friend. You go around bullying and insulting women of means. Like a young gigolo, it's astounding. Jack shot back. Poirot was rambling nonsense. Even the officer thought this was impossible. After all, Jack was with the producer when they found Alan's body, but Poirot simply smiled wryly, as if predicting this outcome long ago. On the surface, everything appears to be alright, but subsequently, he proposed an even more exhilarating and unbelievable hypothesis. What if the body found on the beach that day was actually Sarah in disguise? Then, Poirot began his thrilling deduction, stating, let's start from the day of the incident at 9:30 a.m. when Sarah unexpectedly bumped into the rich businessman's son, making plans to swim at the beach. A seemingly random encounter, but it had already been part of his grand plan. Coincidence should not be mentioned lightly. What Sarah did next was crucial to the whole operation. After returning to her room, she began smearing brown dye onto her skin in order to appear exactly like Alan. But in her rush, she made a little blunder and threw the dye bottle out of the window, nearly hitting a passing producer. This unexpected Hube's move became a crucial clue for Poirot. Once disguised, Sarah put on a loose outfit, cleverly hiding any makeup traces without raising suspicion. Later, she and the rich merchant's son went to the beach. Sarah pretended to sketch by the shore, without going into the water. While the lady of the evening was swimming, she did two important things. She adjusted the lady's watch to be 20 minutes slow and casually took her spare glasses. Don't underestimate these moves. Poirot pointed out that these were clearly to create an alibi and later frame the lady of the evening. While the lady was swimming again, Sarah started her marathon, sprinting across the island. She reached the designated Pix Bay to meet Jack, who was already starting his performance, pretending to inquire about Alan's whereabouts to set the stage for a later surprise discovery. When he arrived at the destination with the producer by boat, Sarah had already disguised herself as Alan, lying on the shore waiting for the right moment. The real Alan had hidden in the cave as soon as Sarah arrived, to avoid being tracked by Poirot. Completely unaware, thinking this was just a small transfer with his lover. When Jack informed the producer that Alan had been murdered, Sarah's disguised body was on the beach. The producer, overwhelmed with fear, didn't even check closely, and believed it without question. If you find my deductions interesting, be sure to click subscribe to not miss any of my thrilling reasoning.